The next thing that I can hardly iterate enough, there's a lot of things. They're all the most important things. I'll tell you various most important things. But the most important thing is number 3, is really getting deeply into your body, one hand at a time, crossing forwards and crossing backwards until you can do it effortlessly and naturally, and it's just in your body. You don't need to think about it. It happens without you thinking about it. This is going to be the foundation of so many things that you're learning. And the attitude that goes along with this is equally important, and that's that you can't get to the complex stuff well if you don't like the simple, if you don't like the pieces. It doesn't work. And you see it in all kinds of sports. You see it, like I used to do springboard diving, and there'd be guys who come along, and they don't want to do like work on the hurdle. They don't want to work on their tucks. They don't want to work on, they just want to do the flippy thing, right? So years later, they're still going flippity splat, and they're frustrated that there's somebody else who can do it so beautifully. But the person who can do it beautifully is the one who likes working on the hurdle, right? The details. How does that feel? What's really going on? Keep the head up, all the small stuff, piece at a time. Put it all together and flippity. Right? Same with poi. The amount of times I've seen Andy or G, and I'm looking at them practicing, they've got one poi. With Andy, he'd be with one poi. One of the greatest spinners I'd ever seen. What's he doing? He's crossing one poi like this. And he's just looking for that perfect cross point. Right? How can he totally stabilize the pattern? And he gets me, he goes, have you looked at your cross points? I'm like, well, your cross points. I'm like, what? And he gets me seeing how in the center of the cross there's this cross point, and can you pick a spot and cross perfectly through that spot, like you're making a perfect X? And I was like, no, what? No, it's really hard. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And he'd be great. He'd go around and you just see him talk to somebody, and then you come back later and that person would be going like this. And they'd be like, yeah, it's really hard, cool, right? So funny. So it's little things like that. If you want to get really graceful, that's where the secret is, and that's always where it's going to be, is loving those little pieces. So, crossing one poi at a time, right? You watched a video on this already, but what it is, it's a game. So, okay, we're in our space. So you've got your space. You might be in a park. You might be in your den. You might be in your garage. I don't know. We can face this way together. For me, these are that's the street. Over here I've got the side window. Over here I've got a wall. And back here I've got the camera. Those are my directions. For you, you might have the trees, the parking lot, the lake, and the trail, right? Or you might have the television, the dining room table, and the view up front. So we look at our directions and we think, okay, so let's look at this way together. And we turn this way. So for me, it's my window. For you, it's you've got something there. That's, for now, you're going to make a choice. You're going to say, okay, the poi are coming down that direction. So for me, it's the side window. My poi are coming down the side window. If I were to hit myself, they'd hit me in the feet. You need to get a feeling for this. If I look at the view out front, if I just stop, oh look, the poi are going down the side window up the wall, so it's counterclockwise. If I look over here, it's coming up that wall. So if I'm facing this way, it's coming this way, but you hit yourself. Yay. So you're going backwards. I'm facing the camera, it's going clockwise now. I'm not crossing anymore, it's just clockwise. And it's like I'm imagining right now there's an invisible wall here. I'm right on that wall. Side windows crossing forwards. So hopefully you've got this by now, the basics of it, which is this is crossing forwards. This is just clockwise. This is crossing backwards. This is just counterclockwise. But just being able to do it is not really enough. And this, again, I can't iterate enough. What works is when it gets to the point that it's absolutely just a dance. That you don't need to think about it anymore at all. And that comes through play. I mean, here you're crossing forwards, you can totally explore that. You can cross big and small, wide, almost hitting your arm, up here, down here, fast and slow. Let your whole body turn with the poi. Follow the poi with all of your movement. Right? If you're here facing the view, I can go high, I can go low, I can move to the sides, backwards, I can start down at my feet, I can do it like I'm sword fighting, I can be doing it like I'm knocking flies off the ceiling, I can look at you and be clockwise. And you get to a point where, through play and through experimenting, that it starts to completely flow. That as you're turning and playing, you stop at the view, look, it's going counterclockwise, you know, and on a flat plane. Playing and playing, and here it's crossing backwards. It comes through time, you know, 5 minutes at a time. It comes through letting it really get into your body. But that's going to be the foundation for everything. Because if it's not deep in your body, you go to learn something with 2 poi, and it's so funny, you'll just suddenly your body forgets. Right? Until it's really deeply in your muscle memory. And then what happens to your body remembers. You don't have to think about it. It's just in your body. And then you're doing all kinds of stuff. And it just flows. But that all comes out of really getting into 1 poi at a time. It comes out of the pieces, not trying to do the end. So make sure this is your first week. Keep coming back to that. You know, if you're right-handed, do the left hand even more. This is forwards, this is clockwise, this is backwards, crossing, counterclockwise, forwards, crossing, whoosh, whoosh. Right? Down at your hip, up at your shoulder, big arms. If you do that, you're going to do great. If you understand this, you're going to do great. You're going to make me proud. I'll be happy. I think you're the best student ever if you do that. So play, 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 1 poi at a time. Get really comfortable crossing forwards and backwards and turning freely. And from there, we're going to build everything.